Welcome to the Home Business Podcast with Richard Captain Henderson, publisher of Home Business Magazine, and Sherilyn Colleen, managing editor. This how-to show helps you successfully operate your home-based business.
Greetings and welcome to the Home Business Podcast. I'm Richard Captain Henderson, your skipper at Home Business TV.
And I'm Lynn, your co-host.
Let's secure, foresee, and get underway. Millennials seeking a new, authentic voice to help motivate them need to look no further than 20-year-old entrepreneur Tyler Bray.
Bray is an entrepreneur, model, and actor who started his own business at 14. His business made the Inc. 5000 list of the fastest-growing companies in the U.S.
The eldest of 9 children from immigrants from Thailand, Tyler Bray currently owns 5 separate businesses generating $5 million annually.
Bray believes that many of today's digital entrepreneurs and influencers fall short of being positive role models. For aspiring millennials, he's going to change that paradigm.
So, greetings, Tyler Bray. Welcome to the Home Business Podcast. Say hello to our podcast audience.
Hey there, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Great.
Thanks for coming on our show.
Thanks. So, where are you connecting in from today?
I'm coming here from Madisonville, Texas, in the tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
Cool.
Tyler Bray, tell us a little about your background and the small town place you chose to live in.
So my business is a trailer parts business, which is a really kind of country business. So what we do is we ship out a lot of trailer parts. That's my main business. And so being in a rural area really helps out with a lot of land and all that good stuff. So I came here whenever I was about 14 years old, going into high school, and I just kind of stayed here because that's where my business is.
What part of Texas is that?
It's right in between Houston and Dallas.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Well, I guess yeah, that's a good fit. How did you get into trailer park parts?
Yeah, so my stepdad is a trailer manufacturer. So that was kind of my in to the market, and that allowed me to use his resources and also his connections in the industry to be able to do what I do right now.
Good for you.
As I say, find a niche and fill it.
Right.
Sounds fascinating. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that fascinating journey of 5 businesses before the age of 20. Talk with us a little bit more about your fast track entrepreneurial journey and, and some of the challenges that you've faced.
So the funny thing is I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until, 2-3 years ahead of time after I started my first business. I started getting bored is what happened. My business was doing well, and it was just kind of a daily routine, and routine is kind of a bad word for me. So once I got to a certain point, I was like, man, what could I do? And so I started exploring opportunities within my own business, utilizing my own, my own competitive edges, like buying power and shipping and whatnot, and started businesses that way. So I opened businesses in conjunction and relation to my current business.
Isn't that kind of funny? You just woke up one day and realized you were an entrepreneur.
Right.
You've been doing it for a while. You just kind of got pulled in with the tide there.
Yeah. Well, I was 14 years old, so I went with the flow. I did what I got to do. I worked every single day. Didn't think too much about it.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I like that. What's that saying you have? Grind while they sleep so you can live like they dreamed. Did I get that right?
That's right. That's right. So
I like that.
Notorious for working late. I have my best ideas and my best productivity during the night. So the saying really is, real winners, 5 a.m. is either when they go to bed or when they wake up.
Yeah, I hear that more and more, particularly with younger and younger entrepreneurs. It's like the concept of an 8 to 5 workday is out the window. And, some of your best ideas can come at, I just remember from college, it seemed like the best study time was late at night. So, I don't know, it's working for you. But, hey, before moving on to our next topic, I'd like to highlight this show's sponsor, the Downline Builders Network, DBM. The DBM company helps you build your network marketing downline, 100% automated, free postcards and hot leads each month. Pre-enroll now to lock in your position. For more information, call 866-722-5363 or visit mailpostcardsfromhome.com or our podcast website for more information on sponsors.
Tyler, you come from humble beginnings, but that didn't hold you back. What are some of the key values that help you succeed?
So I did come from a family that my two parents came from Thailand, and I started out in a 1-bedroom apartment with 8 people living in there. So I knew what it was like to work hard. I mean, my dad worked three jobs at one time. And so seeing that, I got used to the fact that you just got to work hard if you want to survive. And so that kind of really carried out through my entire childhood and into my early adulthood. Even though I'm more well off right now, it's just stuck in my system. And my mother, she's always been pushing me and really just, hey, never settle for anything less than the best. And so that's ingrained within me.
What do you think of the concept of grit? I hear GRIT, just grit as a way. I keep hearing that more and more as a way to succeed. You just gotta, it's not a sprint. It's just a long-term applying yourself and working hard each day.
It really is, because there's so many countless times that I've fallen, but the most important thing is getting back up. You can fall so many times, and in fact, falling is a blessing, because if you don't fall, you don't learn. So whenever you do fall, learn from it, get up, and get back to doing what you're doing and do it better than you have before you fell down.
Yeah, I think I heard the stat kind of sticks in my mind. It's something like 9 out of 10 business startup tries fail, and you just got to find. I mean, I know in my own publishing business, it looks like it's a magazine, but there's been all kinds of, as they call them, ancillary businesses that we've started over the years, and most of them, haven't succeeded. You just got to find the ones that works. And some of the times, I don't know if it's happened to you, but some of the best businesses just come out of the blue and find you. Have you ever had a business that sort of found you just because you happened to be there at the right time, or it connected in with something you were already doing?
Yeah, so a funny story is I went to a convention, and this gentleman, he was one of the directors of sales for one of my vendors, and he was drunk at the convention. And then he just was like, Tyler, call this guy. You really need to talk to him. I called the guy, and 2 days later, he sold the business to me.
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah, he was about to fly out and sell it to one of my competitors, actually. I didn't even realize it. So it all happened in the nick of time.
A drunken business connection at a convention. Well, that's a new one.
Oh, I mean, you can make connections anywhere. One of my other sayings is everything happens for a reason. So
yeah, we used to say that in the Navy, but we usually bad things that were happening. Hey, Tyler, you have tracked into the fascinating niche we really want to explore today of being a digital influencer. In a home-based world that is going more and more online, how important is digital influencing?
I think it is extremely important. Whether you realize it or not, you guys, every single person out there is a digital influencer, either in a large scale or a small scale. Everything that you do, big or small, 1 post, 2 posts, they influence somebody and they affect somebody somehow, whether that be positive or negative. So, I mean, especially in our generation where everybody's on YouTube, everybody's on Instagram, everything you do and post, people see it.
So a key connection here on being a digital influencer is that it ties into content marketing, and in particular, social media and the different social media channels, and the way people, I guess, refer something and pass content along. That magnifies the importance of being a digital influencer.
Yeah, so that is part of the reasons why when I say 1 or 2 posts, it's because you never know which post is going to go, quote unquote, viral. And if that post doesn't reflect you in the right way, or is a negative, kind of connotation, that's a big deal, especially for a digital influencer. You want the world and your viewers to see you in a certain light, and hopefully that's positive. And if something doesn't affect people in the right way, I mean, you just didn't do your job right.
Well, Tyler, talk with us a little bit more about your approach as a digital influencer that you adhere to and what you call classical and elegant values.
Yeah, so a lot of the modern day millennial idols, I would say, are rappers. They're in the music media industry, and quite frankly, a lot of what they do I don't necessarily agree with from the personal end of things. I say classical and elegant values because I'm one to believe in, opening the door for, the girl that goes in. I'm one for manners. I'm one for sitting up straight. I'm one for talking right, speaking right. I'm one for just kind of the classical, old-fashioned values that modern day doesn't seem to adhere to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. How you tie that into the media, into the movement. It seems like there's a lot of attention getting out there in being a digital influencer, just doing something to get a clickbait and grab attention. I think that drives to, content that is less than flattering or doing ways that just don't reflect well, but they get people's attention. So you're looking at an approach of counter to that to, push that along as an influencer that you use as what you call the movement.
Right. Positivity instead of negativity. I mean, in general.
Good.
Well, hey, the entrepreneurial world needs more positive digital influencers. That's for sure.
Well, I hope to be one of those positive influences for sure.
Tyler, what are some of the additional things you are doing to help others succeed in your generation? Maybe hit that movement a little bit more that we were discussing earlier.
So, the movement that I have, especially on, like you said, as a digital influencer, I've been reaching out on my Instagrams and on my social medias to people, and especially younger aspiring entrepreneurs, and just being a resource for them, letting them know that I'm there for any questions that they might have, and just being available. I also do group mentorship, one-on-ones, and I also do public speaking. And so I have been really trying to help those who want to be helped. Who wants to learn, who want to be there to watch how it is to be to the point that that I'm at. So I've been doing it through digital marketing. I've been doing it through website creation. I've been doing it through social media. I'm just trying to do it in as many ways as possible, especially on one-on-ones, because I think just like the classical elegant values, that word of mouth, that one-to-one is extremely important.
So important part of the way of how you're pulling this all together is you do try to do as many different channels as you can and across, the digital marketing and online content niches. You find that to be important with, pushing your digital influencing?
Yes. And one of the biggest things digital influencing, I think that people don't realize, is it's the exact same thing as running a business. In a business, you want to be out there in as many marketplaces as possible so that your consumer can find you and buy your product. And the same goes for digital influencing. If you want your words to touch as many people as possible, you have to be in a place where people can see you. So
this has been kind of eye-opening. I didn't really realize it, but we push content out in a lot of different channels, and so I guess we're in a magazine. We're digital influencers,
That's right.
by default. And so you're saying that as a business owner, you can be pushing out content also in different channels, and influence things in your niche also.
Right. And the way I see it, as a digital influencer, I'm the product to market. My words, my movement, that's what I'm marketing. That's what I'm trying to get to the consumer. So in a sense, it's exactly like running a business.
Tyler Bray, this has been a great discussion on your business success journey. Do you have any final points you would like to share?
Yeah, so I always say every single time, I have two sayings. And the first one is, you can if you will. And so what that means is if you want to do something, you can, regardless of what it is. It just depends on whether or not you're willing to make the sacrifices, if you're willing to go out there and do it, if you're willing to actually reach out, learn, make those connections. And the second thing is every negative can be turned into a positive. It just depends on how you perceive it and how you take it, especially in entrepreneurship. If you fail, you get up. If you don't fail, then you keep on succeeding. I mean, you just have to look at it in a positive way.
Turn lemons into lemonade. I like this. Tyler Bray, thank you for being such a great guest on the Home Business Podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. To learn more about Tyler Bray, visit tyler-bray.com or our podcast website for more information on guests.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Home Business Podcast. Share your feedback with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, homebusinessmag.com.
Visit the website for information on advertising. Subscribe free to our newsletter. Please visit our sponsors. For more information, visit homebusinessmag.com or the Home Business Expo at homebusinessexpo.com.
I'm Richard Captain Henderson saying anchors away.
We'll talk with you soon. Until then,
make it a great home-based biz day.